Welcome into KSL Sports Rewind. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart getting you ready for the high school football season. Our top 25 plus 5 videos getting you all set and ready to go. As always, we're brought to you by Hyden Associates, Western Governors University, and now UCCU as well. Football season's here, Dane.
Yep.
We've gone through 15 through 11. Now rubber meets the road. The top 10 in our preseason rankings. And again, remind my people, we know there's some runway. We're going to do every single week.
Yep.
We've got a great crew at KSL Sports Rewind. We've got a lot of changes, but one thing that does not change. Dusty and Dane every single week right here on KSL Sports Rewind.
Yeah, you're not done with us yet.
No.
I feel like, look, we've reached our top 10. I feel like we need some index cards. Maybe a little bit of a drum roll over from the corner and some punny jokes.
Yeah. You know, if we had Stat Boy, if he'd actually joined the TV show, it'd be kind of good.
Yeah.
But as it is, he's going to sit behind there and
what a wasted opportunity.
Playing a little bit of Bejeweled as we get going. All right, let's get started. But we want to remind you here on KSL Sports Rewind, we've got some new team members. I thought we'd do it in the top 10. Now we're on Road Meets the Road, right? So Brian Brown, the Brown Bear, the man that's always covered the University of Utah, he's going to be joining the team. And also mentioned Jeff Hansen, he does amazing BYU recruiting stuff. We're trying to expand what we're going to do. These guys are going to be part of what's going on, expanding our coverage here at KSL Sports Rewind, and we do it all for our fans because, look, we want to give you better coverage of what of all the guys you're watching.
And by the way, when you're like, well, they cover BYU and Utah, where's Utah State? He's right here.
We got an Aggie.
Yeah.
We've always had one. We've always had the Aggie. And a Vandal.
A Vandal.
I just stayed like a truck like a Vandal. I know how it is. All right, top 10. Without further ado. All right, now I got to reset it. Let's go to the top 10. And look, at number 10, and it's always weird to be at this spot, but it's just where things have evolved to. Yeah. We'll see where it goes. The Bingham Miners coming in at number 10.
Boy, and look, it's interesting, right? When you think about Bingham, all the changes that occurred, graduated so much talent, returned Dallin Martinez, new head coach and Coach Eric Jones, bringing Freddie with them from Roy. This is going to be an interesting year for Bingham, and cannot wait. We talk about Region 3. The competition is going to be down there. But look, Dave Peck, great job. A couple of years he was there, and Les Hamilton kind of evolving that offense. Can't wait to see what Freddie does with that offense, where it goes. They returned Dallin Martinez. We talked about that. Graduated some good seniors, particularly defensively, but I know they got some youngsters coming up in the wings as well. And this Bingham squad, it's still Bingham.
Well, it still goes, right? And we know Fred Fernandez is going to come down, no longer a head coach. He's going to come help out one of his longtime assistants from Roy that now took over, Coach Jones now at Bingham. How about this? Who leaves offense and defense? Well, Les Hamilton leaves the offense. Dave Peck leaves the defense. Those are two guys that could be in the Utah High School Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right? We'll be right there. Well, both of them are in. If we have one of those things, they're in. They do have one. We'll help out with that. But you look at the returning. Dal Martinez, Havea Fotu comes back. Carson Sudbury comes back. And then it's tight end high, as they always do. Ken and Tennant, I've been told, hey, this kid is an absolute stud. And you think of Dalton Schultz that plays in the NFL, the tight end that played there. We had a bunch of good tight ends throughout the years at Bingham. Goes right in that. And then Ben Latte. I know I said it, Latte. There you go. There's your thing. Ben Latai is the next great Bingham defensive lineman. Starlo Tulele, Smote Pepa, so many other guys. Derek Tuimaunga, throw that one out. And then we have other guys as well that's on that list of great players that have been defensive linemen. But I've been told, hey, Ben Latai is another guy right in that line for Bingham.
Look, we just put expectations on you day one. So, Ben, you're welcome.
And here's the thing on offense. Third offense in 3 years at Bingham. Yeah. So if you're a senior offensive player, this is the third system in 3 years. So, but Fred does a great job, and it would be a lot of fun. So Bingham, hey, we talk about runway. There's some runway there for Bingham, but they got to get some things right with the Bingham line. It's been a while since we've seen them up at Rice Eccles.
It has been.
Been a little while. Last time they were there, they won a state championship, if memory serves. So, all right, from number 10, let's go to number 9. And this is a team, hey, we always have high expectations of this. It just feels good. Go from Bingham to Timpview. Coach Donnie Atuwaya taking over for Coach Stokes, who's still on staff. Going to call the offense, but Donnie Atuwaya's got a good crew coming back.
Yeah, no, they graduate their quarterback, right? Amavai moving on down at San Diego State. That's got to be living the life, huh?
Tough.
Yeah. But look, this is a group, returns a lot of talent. Ambrosio is back. Mm-hmm. We saw him really burst on the scene last year. Bexa is back. Haunga is back. And by the way, while we're at it, let's just add a move in from Wasatch. Villa, a quarterback coming down from Wasatch. Remember, he filled in last year through injury at Wasatch High School, had a great started 3-4 games,
Yep.
something like that, back half of the year. He's now at Timview, so quarterback position settled, all those athletes around it settled. This offense is going to be really dynamic. Timview, going to Timview.
And potentially a young freshman quarterback in that battle too with Viet. And so we'll see where that one goes. Now, how about this Ambrosio last year? 94 tackles. Okay, pretty good. 9 sacks. Yeah, and then 2 picks. It's a little KVN-ish for those of you who remember. I mean, kind of get it. I don't know if he blocked a punt. There wasn't a stat on that. Pretty good there. All right, number 8. Here's a team that got really high on our rankings last year. And then they kind of tumbled. And the Reigns came tumbling down off of a 50-yard field goal at the Horn. But I think all this talent come back should be interesting. How about the Syracuse Titans coming at number 8?
Well, and I think you talk about a team that really rose. They jumped on the scene. What an impressive start. You talk about the loss to Weber at home, had that game in their grasp, and then it kind of felt a little unsettled. But they returned so many guys, right? Hamblin, the quarterback, is back. Faddis is back. Metcalf is back. Hopkins is back. Croxford, Gates, everybody is back on that team. And you think of the stride they made from 2 years ago to last year with all those guys coming back, and the status of Region 1 where, Davis is trying to find that perennial consistency. Fremont graduated so many guys off of their group last year. Another Region 1 team we'll talk about later. That should be a nice little tease. But it is positioned for this Syracuse team to take that next big step forward this year. We met them last year. We talked to them. It's a hungry group. They want to be able to get Syracuse back to making postseason runs, getting to Rice Eccles. And this feels like a group that can really take that program to that next level.
Here's the interesting thing for Syracuse. We talk about all the guys coming back. They returned the leading passer in Hopkins, who was a sophomore last year.
Yeah, I said Hamblin. That was former quarterback.
Former offensive player of the year.
The current Hamblin is a safety.
Yeah, really good. But they returned him. They returned Faddis was their leading rusher. They also returned their sack leader as well in Sweeten. But they do graduate 525 tackles.
Yeah,
you lose a guy like Yeats, who is a terrific leader. That's where this team's going to have to figure this out. It's the leadership, but our guys are part of that a year ago, and we think they might figure this thing out. Coach Knight does a great job, and they're going to be ready from last year.
Yeah.
A lot of room to grow.
Should be fun.
Hey, while we're in Region 1, let's just stay, shall we? If one team's good, how about 2? How about the Region 1 champion in the Farmington Phoenix and Coach Dan Coates?
Said we talk another Region 1 team. Here we go. Did this game between these two last year. Fantastic game. Farmington got the win. You mentioned region champs. You talk about programs returning players. Farmington right there. Reinhold is back. White is back. Nielsen is back. This is a strong group for Coach Dan Coates. We talked about making strides last year. A group that they felt like that locker room was much improved. The talent really grew. And I think that with all the returners they have, you would expect them to, again, compete for that Region 1 championship. We talked about how strong Syracuse is going to be. Farmington is going to be right there with them in that Region 1. And with all those returners, they are teams that are positioned to compete in 6A.
We talk about guys coming back. How about this on defense? 24 total sacks as a team last year. They returned 17 of them. 17 of the sacks of the 24 come back. That means you can stop people and make things happen. And I had one person in the Region 1 area told me about Wait. He said, hey, this is a kid, it's a budding star. It showed last year that the moment was not too big. And so it'll be interesting to see where this team goes. High expectations for Farmington Kenyon. Brown Gone was very, very good a year ago. Where do they go for Coach Dan Coates? It'll be very interesting to see. All right, last team of this video, but could be the first team in your hearts, folks. No. Hey, we're
Corner Canyon at 5?
We're getting there. We're getting This is not the show. We're right next to the school. Gene Plaga Stadium, Carbon Dino legend coming in number 6.
Yeah.
The West High Panthers.
Man, you talk about making strides, huh? This program not that far off from being bottom of the barrel.
Yep.
And now you've got this program that is just outside of our preseason top 5. We had them preseason, I think, number 11 last year. This program continues to get stronger year over year. Bilati comes back, Suisui coming back. This is a group returning a lot of experience. We got a lot of D1 talent on that roster. You talk about a group that won a playoff game last year.
Back-to-back years.
For a long time. Yeah,
Back-to-back years,
that's right, because they had the win over Roy, right? And then last year. Look, this is a program that continues to just build under Coach Junior Solovey. And look, they're ready to make that next stride. And it shows. Look, we're going to learn a lot about West. Week 2, they're not shying away from anyone. Hey, why don't we go out to California and play one of the top teams in the country in modern day? It's going to be a tall test. But that's where this program has come in the 3 years that Junior's been at West. And it's right there competing with one of the top programs in the state. And I know over the course of the summer, sevens and camps and whatnot, they've gone up against some of those top teams and been competitive. Now, it's pads, it's fall football, it's different. But look, they have built something at West and expect that to play out here over the course of the season.
Well, guys, you mentioned Vailahi, right? Last year, how balanced was Vailahi? 1,100 total yards, 545 yards rushing, 5,400 yards receiving. Or probably 5,400. Woo, have a heck of a year. 542 yards receiving, balance, and then he's also a returner as well. Yeah. I mean, this kid is very, very good. They got a lot of guys they can get the ball to at West.
I'll tell you the other thing, it might look a little bit differently as well. This is a coaching staff that not set on a system. They'll run what's designed for their squad. Their squad might look a little different this year. So you might see a new age of West football.
Be a lot of fun. It's going to be very, very good. All right, top 5 coming up, getting you ready for the high school football season. Reminder, we've got a minimum of 4 games a week they're going to be doing here. The Red Zone going to be on KSL Sports The Zone on 97.5 and 1280 a.m. Doing a simulcast. It'll be KSLSports.com. Jeff Hansen's joining me here. Brian Brown's going to have a game every week with JT Wistersill. Dane's got his game of the week with Moose Bingham. If you just need a little pick-me-up, come join Dane and Moose on the KSL Sports Rewind Game of the Week. You'll feel just a little bit energetic.
Moose will not let you be bored.
Yeah, especially if specialists are involved.
Yeah.
Well, we can dig that. But anyway, high school football season's on here. JJ and Sly can have the GNL Game of the Week. There's no more high school football than right here at KSLSports.com and bringing you quality as well. But every week, Dusty and Dane, we're not going anywhere. We're going to have a lot of fun throughout the year, getting ready for high school football season. For Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Litster. Thanks for joining us watching KSL Sports Rewind on KSLSports.com.